Cacapon, and that's the clubhouse. That's the driving range over there, and they only have the white tees up, so we'll play the white tees. It's not like it's a really long course, 6,300 yards, but today we're going to play the white tees. That is a new facility, lodge facility they're building over there, and over there in the distance you can, well, you can't really see it in this zoom. So anyway, let's go off and hit. I'm not even sure if this is recording in 720. Let me see. So let's see. So not bad. It's Twin Lakes out in the mountains here at Cacapon, which is up Route 522 towards Berkley Springs, just short of Berkley Springs. Let's go out here and get to play. It's a little bit chilly, but let me warm up and play. Shooting video and talking is I can just cut this all together later. This is the first approach shot. Shot to the left, and it looks like it rolled off the front left corner, but anyway, not too bad. You can tell there's a lot of good stuff out here, but this is exactly what I complain about on golf courses. People decide to take a good golf course and build a house right on top of the holes, on top of the green. I mean, this is a beautiful course. We're at 2x zoom. So we're playing to the left. You can see that, I don't know if you can see the yellow flag stick just to the left between the two bunkers, left of this lake. It's between playing a course like this, which is really not too interesting, but having it in the middle of a bunch of houses, and playing a course like this, which is surrounded by hills and nice cool mountain air and almost no houses. Did 25-foot short. Playing over to the right of the side. That's a par 5 we are playing. It's 490 from the white tees. What do we do? Alternate? I think so. I don't know, for a while. Let's see how the battery works. Alright, so we're far enough out from the clubhouse now where we can begin to do some serious exploring. So what do I think of this course so far? It's actually not bad, even though it's relatively flat here in this section. The reason I'm backing up is to show you the difference between the back tees here, which are marked 190, where I'm standing. Front ones are probably about 110. So this is a good challenging par 3. It's got a dip in front. I don't know if you can see it. Let's zoom in a little bit here. I got like that ability. It's got a dip in front, and there's a hard crevice off to the side. I'm going to try driving it and see what happens, just to see if I can even get close to this. A little bit too much cut on it. The wind blew it back, and we were about 50 yards short of the pin, but not bad for a shot from 200 yards. Okay, so that was a legitimately good hole. 200-yard par 3, downhill, curving crescent to the left. Not bad. I had myself a 4-foot par putt. The greens are a little soft, certainly soft and wet. The course is definitely wet, but the greens are still soft even then. And nothing's really been prepared. This is probably like, you know, I don't know, straight. Maybe it's been cut once or cleaned once, but the course is not at all prepared for golf other than that. But it's still in good condition, decent enough condition considering it's late March. And here we have a par 4. I'm standing at the 410-yard marker. All right, I'm standing at the 200-yard marker there in front of me at the dogleg corner. Walk in the park. I mean, it's not the world's most difficult course, but it's certainly a decent course for the for this environment. A mountain course or a hills course. There's real peril. That's 4 traps. There's a trap 3 there, and some real back slope off there, and there is trees there down the hill. You know, another tee box and a big field of waste over here. So certainly this is not a hole that you want to play with. You've got the slope coming off the front side from the tee, going round, you know, at the corner and keeping going down and away from the middle of the fairway, and then you've got a back uphill shot. That's a decently challenging shot, especially with no real grass on the fairways. I have that to deal with coming back in. And so this is number 6, I believe, one of the two. It's a 379 yard par 4. We have had one par 5, but these are par 4s. And lots of wind coming down that mountain and across into your right corner. And consistently narrow and deep greens here so far, except for the first one, which was fairly wide but narrow, now short. All right, this is 7. It's going to go back to the green we looked at before the last tee shot. It is a slight dogleg downhill, 431 from where I'm standing right now. It's like all uphill to the top of the sand trap way out there, and there's a breeze coming down off the right side here, just to the right of these trees coming into the tee box. Yay. 200 and about 25 to 30 out on the cart path there. Got lucky, got a decent low roller with a slight fade, so I'm up here, right around here somewhere, and that's still a good 3-wood for me to the green on a par 4. That's number 7 at a lovely hole. Let's come over here and look at number 8. Number 8 is 195 from where I'm standing, par 3. And we are going to, we have a fairway that jags left and then back to the right to get to the green. There's a big ravine, you can see it there. Zoom in a little bit more. Big ravine there where the sand trap is off to the left, but that should be dry. There's no lake there. So let's give this a shot with a driver. So that was not an easy hole there. I got down on the right. There's a trap on the far side of the green and a trap on the near side of the green and then big waste down there. I got down on the right in the trap just below the green and had to chip up, and then I went to the trap behind the green and had to chip back on, so it was a 4. Anyway, 535, par 5. And we have some shelter here for once from the wind, but not much. All right, you can barely see this here. That green is actually about as wide as, a little bit wider than that sand trap. So there's a lake off to the left and a hill that bounces down into the lake on the left side of the green. Here we go on the back. This is number 10. There's a tee box below me. I don't know what this is, but let's back up here and find out. They've been pretty good about marking the tee boxes. I don't see one here on this side, and I don't see one on this side, so whatever it is. Anyways, this is number 10, uphill, dogleg right. They didn't have any food or anything. The place wasn't open. They said not open until April. So the front side was not easy. Those narrow greens bordered by stuff, you know, either a waste or something on the left, and a waste or something on a trap or something on the right. They do bite you if you don't play towards the pin. Definitely a challenge. All right, we were about 135 with a 5 or 10 degree slope uphill, wind behind us. Blue flag, Probably treads left and right of the green. It's going to be nasty. We got to get back there. That was a lot harder than it should have been, but it worked out okay. All right, we have a par 5 marked 45 from the back tees. And it looks like it's a slight crescent right, and then you've got a tabletop green at the back far right corner. Well, this is just almost exactly like one of the holes that I played at, I can't remember the name of it. It's like down, the one down by Roanoke, the mountain course that I played three or so years ago. I complained it was just saturated with houses, little cabins around the course, and roads that ran by the course. This is just like that. Dropping off down to the right. I'm not sure where my ball is because I see 2 balls out here. Let me see. That first one can't be mine. So, and then you've got these, tabletop greens. This isn't quite as steep to the right, or the tabletop green is certainly not as high, but it's still pretty close. And it's a good, this is a good hole. I'm sorry, it's just a nice par 5. It's a little short, but otherwise it's a good hole. Surprisingly had the distance with my 2-iron, with the wind behind me, I guess, downhill, but I pulled it to the left off the car path, and it stopped just in front of the green in a ditch, playable. I thought it was over there somewhere in the woods, but got lucky there. I just completely pulled it left. I mean, not really, badly, but just enough to get it over in the car path. Put it in for a tap-in par. So now, this is a good time. I have like my 100 videos for me to walk around the green and show you why or what makes a course tough. So this course, the challenge here is you get off the tee. The tee is back behind those bumps on the top of the left there. You get off there, and you really just want to hit the ball out and let it roll down. But on this course today, there's not much roll because the grass is nodule-like in the fairway. So my ball came off the tee and basically sat down in a nodule, didn't get any real distance. On my second shot, I was 225 yards out, easily, uphill. And the problem with that is, on a shot like that, you really want to be careful not to spray it into the trees, trying to get to the green. You really just want to lay it up here, in this area in front. And I did just try to lay it up a little bit, and I got just a great swing, great hit, and just pulled it a little bit to the right, hit it a little bit farther than I wanted to, put it up there where this cart is. But there's a nice soft area there, which is not high waist, which could be, but isn't. Drop there, got a nice 7-iron chip, bounced on the front of the green, and 2-put it in. So it's important, if you're going to talk about a tough course, you've got to have peril around the greens. You've got to have peril where if you miss the green, you're short, you're long, you're left or right, that you can't just sit out there and chip on the green. And that's a combination of 2 things. One, having a trap or waist or a really big slope or something up to the green. And the second is not having a big round green like this one. So this is a round kind of green. It's kind of an easy green to play. Yeah, if you go back there, you might be in some trouble, but you really have no business going back there. That's not something anybody should do unless they're trying to hit a 9-iron from the front of the green and blade it, which is, again, another reason not to hit 9-irons when you're standing in front of the green. It's an expert shot. You can see that there's some runoff here, some slope down there to get you into that waist, but the waist is cut down, so it's not easy to, not hard to play out of it. There's not much in the way of trees. A lot of the trees have been thinned out. This is even some, slope. It's going to give you a little trouble to chip up, but basically this is a benign hole. This hole is fairly easy, and I think it's consistent with the resort course. This is not even that long for a par 5. It's not even 500 yards for a par 5 from the back tees. So this is a decent hole. It's not super easy. It's not hard. You can hit into trouble into it, or you can play it safe, land there in that soft part and all that kind of stuff. The course I played, which is down in I can't remember the damn name of it, I'll have to talk about it in my notes. Way more slope, way more waist down there to the left, way more stuff up on the right, way steeper tabletop. Just you're looking up like probably 25 feet, you know, but it's the same kind of layout for the gym as the downhill crescent. Just so much harder. And then on top of it, so many houses, so much road noise. Probably about half the course is really nice, but the other half of the course was ruined by all the houses. And what I like about this course so far right now is there are virtually no houses out here. You don't see houses at every tee box. You don't see houses at every green. You don't hear cars driving by every time you try to hit a tee shot. And there aren't but a few houses way over there near the beginning, near the clubhouse, plus that big 800 unit thing they're building over there. But there's virtually nothing out here. This is beautiful, wonderful. You know, you almost can't ask any better. The weather today is in the mid 40s to mid 50s, beautiful, mild wind. This is golf heaven as far as I'm concerned. So of course, as soon as I said that, there were a couple of women walk up from the next hole walking their dogs. Anyway, I was nice to them for once. Anyway, an uphill par 4, and we are looking. Let's see what we got here. Nicely marked again, 375. The back. That's a classic uphill shot with a tabletop green. You know, classic tough shot right there. Well, I haven't seen anything this nasty since the Gauntlet. Since number 17 at the Gauntlet. It's not quite that bad, but it's bad enough. I'm still 200 out. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that with our next shot. Fun, huh? We had the wind behind us. Got the 3-iron right up over that front left corner and buried it in the trap. Hopefully it's still in it. And otherwise I would have pulled it to the right here and run it up this funnel. Beautiful little approach shot here. All right, we're still apart with Sandy there. So let's see here. We got about 415 here from the back tees. Another beautiful shot. The last time I played this was, I keep thinking Kiskiak, but it's not Kiskiak. Definitely not Kiskiak. Last time I played a hole like this, nice hole. There's a big ass house right here. I swear to God. Massanutten, that's what it is. Massanutten. And there is a beautiful hole right there sitting out in front. And I hope that you appreciate this video. I might just shoot pictures the rest of the way in so you can get the full 4K. This is the basis of my target theory for golf. Basically there's a green. You should be putting most of your shots with every one of your clubs on the green. The question is, at what distance do you do that? So here we have a 4-iron shot. I'm going to hit a 175 4-iron. Hopefully I can hit that big green, big wide green, and the pin's in the back. You can see it's about a 75-yard long green, honestly. You just don't want to go back there where those traps are. The other problem is right now the greens are soft and just about as soft as a comforter. Kind of like the greens at, I've seen a couple of courses of the same kind of greens. Very soft, spongy, not bouncy, but spongy. It's partially because they're wet and partially because they're just soft greens. How could you improve this course? Make the greens, shorter and faster and more firm? But what else? I'm really having a hard time actually finding a fundamental fault in it. It's not Whiskey Creek. No, it's not, Musket Ridge or anything like that. It's not Potomac Ridge. It's not, what's the course I was thinking about? Anyway, a lot of courses that are just harder than this. But that doesn't mean they're better courses than this. And most of them are surrounded by roads and noise and houses and noise. And then so far I've seen one house on this course. Well, I was going for the pin with a 5-iron, but I inadvertently got pretty much the shot I really wanted or should have hit, which was to hit it short of that trap and to the right, and I pulled it a little bit to the left. So that's what you call a mishit that lucked out and didn't turn out too badly. Let's go over here and take a look and see what's going on beyond this green. One of the problems I'm having out here today, aside from the fact that it's muddy and not much grass, I hope I didn't lose you, is that the clubs are really just, there's really like a ½ inch of grass at most, and the clubs are kind of biting into the dirt and then kind of hitting a mutter, really kind of, not really getting clean shots. So it's a little tricky. Let's see what we've got going on beyond this green today. This is going to be a long video unless I start dropping stuff out of it. Again, thinned out waist. Yeah, you don't want to go into the woods in the middle because that's where your ball is probably going to have, you know, like 3-iron speed or driver speed, and it's going to go back there. But you can still play out of there probably. You know, I'd say half the shots you hit in there you'll be able to play out. Certainly this you can play. There's a ball there. Certainly you can play out. And without a question, that you can play out. It might grow up a little bit in the summer, but for the most part you'll be able to play out of it. So the green is here, okay? It ends here. And what do we have here? Oh my God, it's almost like a, you know, a drop area or something here. There's a house that there's a second house. I guess the first house is past it, or maybe, yeah, it was down there where that refreshment stand is. There's another house past there. So there's the second or third house I've seen out here to be quite conservative with that number. Lots of space back here. Lots of space. There's 4 trees, a middle tree they cut out even because that was too big or too many trees at once. This is a very forgiving course if you're not really good, but if you're good, it's certainly challenging enough because a good golfer 9 times out of 10 isn't going to go back here anyway. They're going to be trying to hit shots on the pin, back spinning. They're not going to be missing greens. Sand traps and so forth are really relevant to them. And the question is, can they get close enough to hit a high iron and backspin and stop it at this short pin? That's the extent of a good golfer's challenge here. The intermediate golfer will be challenged by the elevated tee boxes and moderately elevated or depressed greens, the verticality. Like I said, keeping the ball out of the woods on their intermediate shots and drives, not landing in the sand traps on their approach shots. It really shouldn't be a problem to go long on a course like this. The only reason you go long is if you start blading balls, but even if you do, there's not much peril back there, and that makes it easier for beginners and really bad players. So it looks spectacular from up there, but there's enough challenge, and it's not super hard. Again, hard to fault this course, except for the soft wet greens and a lack of grass. But it is not even April yet. This video is going to be 2 hours long if I don't stop yapping. So this is 15, 210. You can see the green down there, 210 from the back tees. This probably, I'd say, is a shot you really got to be careful with a driver, but shouldn't be that hard with a driver. And since it's got that diagonal creek in front of it, I'd say, let's see, we're not at the back tees yet. We're back tees are back here. Let's see what we got if we come back here. We're live streaming this golf round. Boy, now the word live streaming has become a neo-terrorist phrase. So anyway, so I guess we'll hit a driver from here, Try not to put it on that guy's house over there on the left. As always, you don't want to put it on someone's house. Hopefully that's just a house you can see back over there. Maybe you can't see it because I haven't zoomed in enough, but let's try zooming a little bit more. All right, behind that chair, there is a roof. And back there, there's another roof. There's a roof. Two of these are, at least one of them is a refreshment shack. And two of them are actual houses. I don't know what this one is right here, but we don't want to go over there. We want to just lay it out there in the middle of all those traps and not quite in the creek on the right. Alright, so it's still recording. Something happened. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so here we are on the 15th. 210 from the back tees. Well, you would not believe this, but I hit that a little more solidly than I quite wanted to. And it landed right off the back corner of the green on the right front corner of that second sand trap and rolled at least to that patch of clean grass. I don't know if it went down the hill, but it might have, but it was just like 2 feet off the back of the green. Uh, 419 par 4, number 16. There are 3 bungalows behind me, about 200 yards behind me, in the woods, and we're heading back to the clubhouse. All right, 16th green. We've got a drop off behind the sand trap to the left, a catch to the right, probably a drop off behind the green. Yep, everything back here is dropped off. And I hit one that was a little bit long and left, and one that was bounced off the top of the green there. Look at this. This is decent peril right here, like okay. And it's matted down and not really long, still fun to hit out of. This is the one I hit behind the green, right behind the pin. It was off the edge and it went down to that. So definitely you want to be careful playing long on this hole. You don't want to go long. It's just in a general theory, you really don't want to go long anyway, but especially not here. All right, it's a par 3 17 181. I'm just off the back of the back tees, marked 180. Okay, number 18, 547, and I'm at the 550 marker. On number 18, it's a par 5. 11 and 18 on this side are par 5, so it's going to be a little bit of a dog leg and then to the bottom of the clubhouse. I had a clean drive around this corner and caught that tree right there and ricocheted into the fairway for me. Would have had another 50 yards easily. And so now we have a good 400 yards to the green down there. Let's see if we can zoom in on it. Just caught the tree. Money shot here. This is my approach on regulation at par 5, number 18. 200 yards. Let's see what happens. I got the wind behind me. Let's do it, folks. I'm 50 feet short. I just running out of gas here. Anyway, so this has been Cacapon Golf Course, Cacapon Park, just about 20 miles south down Route 511 at Berkley Springs, West Virginia. Not a bad course at all. I'd have to give it a B+. It's just a nice layout, nice environment, really nice course. Nothing too hard, nothing too easy. Just a nice round of golf.